Yeah. So
Really? So yeah, so 100,000, 125,000. So I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what did you?
I'm looking to walk away. It's about 310.
Okay, so tripled. Yeah, in
Yeah.
a couple years. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, nice.
And with how the HOAs going up and everything, it was kind of nice.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do now?
Oh, man, I don't really know because every real estate's kind of expensive right now.
It's nuts right now.
Yeah, and I actually own a spot in Miami, like my winter home. So I'm thinking about just kind of hanging out there.
Sure, yeah, why not? If you own a spot already, chill
Yeah.
out in Miami, no taxes. I don't know what you do for work, but you can,
Yeah.
if you can do it remote or do it from there.
Exactly right. And so I'm starting to adjust to the summers there. I was just there this weekend. I was like, it's not too bad out here.
Yeah. It could, by comparison, right? Because I know it just gets really humid and pretty hot, but the humidity is the major thing down there. In Florida, right?
But you get some of the days here because they're so close to the lake.
Yeah. Oh, tons.
I honestly, it's not that different. You just don't get the cool days. That's the thing, is the cool down. Like the coolest time you'll probably get is like 85 degrees at nighttime, and that's kind of unpleasant.
Sure. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, right. Because here it cools down at night. It cools down. But over there, it's just always going to be hot.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a great point. I hadn't
Go
thought of
outside, it's still 85.
Right. Oh, that's interesting.
But, so I'm going to, just like I said, hang out there and
Yeah.
until I find something, because I love Chicago.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just something draws me to the city. I like the speed of it.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Are you from here originally or from?
I'm originally from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh, okay. New Mexico. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you said it's way too hot here. I'm going to go somewhere cold. I'm going to go to Chicago.
Well, no, all my friends, for some reason, from high school, like went to a private school, and we went to college together. They all started drifting one out here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just came out here and I worked for Uber.
Oh, okay.
For a few years
nice.
as an account executive. And now I'm starting my own insurance firm. So.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So what made you decide to flip to insurance specifically, going from that route?
The first time, it sounds kind of weird to say, but the first time I ever made over 6 figures was selling insurance. And it was just at some small little brokerage.
Yeah.
And I thought, if I could get hooked up with a bank that gives out mortgages, and from there you're able to just provide because everyone needs, mortgage insurance or home insurance to get a mortgage.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, you need those. So if you just get signed up with a bank, then you can just offer them different products and just compare it.
Yeah.
Literally just give them quotes based off the information that's coming from the bank. So that's your lead source, and then you just pay like a 10% commission fee to the bank. And I thought that was a pretty ingenious idea. I know it's been done before, but
sure,
a lot of local places just don't do that.
Right. So that's your niche is home insurance then?
Yeah, home and car auto insurance. Those are just the two everyone needs.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it's just bundle it together and make it that way. Sure.
Yeah, so it's just like, hey, since I'm doing your home, do you want me to just look at your auto too?
Right.
It's just, easy.
Nice. And then, so are you working for like a large insurance corporation, or you provide it yourself?
I'm completely starting from the ground up. I actually have 2 investors that are willing to put in all this and trying to get me leads, and the idea is to buy the leads from a bank so you get affiliated with them.
Sure.
And we're just in the process of doing all that now. It's a lot of paperwork, getting your license in every single state.
Sure. Oh, wow.
So
do you have to be that established before you start in every single state?
No, but you want to have at least a good 25 licenses, the around states around here, and then the states they're heavy populated throughout the eastern seaboard and things like that.
Sure.
You just want to, because especially when you start having an insurance company, a lot of your business comes from your clients anyway. Hey, can you hook up my cousin and get this place?
Sure.
So
sure.
As opposed to just yeah, I can. Let me do that next week and scramble for my licenses now.
I get it. Yeah, so you just get it all ahead of time. What do you have to do to get an insurance license? What's the process involved for something like that?
Just you have to take 2 tests.
Okay.
So you have to take your property, your casualty. They're 2 different tests.
Yeah.
They're both, one's just Illinois, the proper things to do, and then one is a law portion. And honestly, it doesn't take much time. I think you should go to a few classes, but relatively easy.
That's a lot. That's 100 tests. If you're doing it in 50 states,
Oh,
right?
no. Once you get one Illinois test, you could just have to apply to every single state with that exam.
Oh,
It's
I
national,
see.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to test it everywhere. You go, here,
yeah.
I got this here, let me go there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's way easier. I was thinking it's like the bar exam
no,
for like
no.
lawyers. Yeah.
That'd
okay.
That'd be brutal. No
Yeah.
way.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say you're like it's not that bad. I'm like you must have really liked college.
I did love college, but
So there you go. Oh, that's fun.
yeah, not enough to go to law school. Though.
But that's pretty interesting then. Yeah. And then, yeah. So that's interesting. I'm just trying to think how that would work because I'm a homeowner too, and I was like, I remember how I'd get insurance, but I just went with like Progressive or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so, wouldn't it have been easier, like, as when you just originally got your mortgage, being like, hey, we're affiliated with this insurance agency. Would you like us to get a quote for you? Be like, yeah, sure, let's see.
Sure.
Just easier.
Right. And then the actual insurance of it, just because like I had to do a claim recently, so like what does that process work? Is it like totally independent?
So
or?
you would get typically on average about 12% of commissions.
Okay.
Or your commission is going to be 12% of the policy rate. So let's say, just for easy math, $100, right? So you're going to get like about $12 for every, or not $12, yeah, $100, $12 for that.
Yeah.
And you get that every single month. So every time someone pays their premium,
oh wow,
you're constantly getting that money.
Sure,
and
that's a great revenue for it.
Yeah, exactly. And so on top of that, you'd say, hey, would you like us to do the payment processing for you for an extra 50 cents, whatever, all this extra stuff that you can add on. It's like microtransactions. It's really like, so.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, after working for, like, I was working like 60-hour weeks, 70-hour weeks for Uber, and I was like, dude, if I bust my ass off this much, I'd rather just do it for myself.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can do 70 hours a week for yourself, and doing something like that, you can start generating leads and creating all of that for yourself, and then, yeah, have something you built. That's really interesting. I never would have thought insurance could be such a lucrative or a way to do something like that. I always thought of it as a business. I just thought of it like, oh yeah, Blue Cross Blue Shield, they do the insurance. Progressive, they do the insurance, right? Yeah, I would never have thought, oh, you could just get into it on your own. I know life insurance people get into on their own because that's something where you sell the policy, you create it, and people make payments to it. You can get loans based on that revenue, or you can have as equity.
And like that, I feel like is so much a harder sale, because it's like trying to tell someone, hey, let's invest in this. This is a 30-year plan,
right? And
after that, you'll start getting paid out.
Yeah.
So people just don't want to do that. But
for sure.
With other insurance, you just need it, and it's literally the same commissions and everything. So.
Yeah, that's so smart. Wow. What did you study in school?
I actually studied history and political science. Like I said, I was planning on going to law school.
Oh yeah, you were. Okay.
And then I got a major in accounting, a master's in accounting.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I went back. My father is an accountant, owns an accounting firm, so I worked for him for a little bit.
Oh, okay, sure. So you were gonna go the law route, but then said, no, this is too much for me.
No, I just realized I was like, so what happened was, I graduated in 2015.
Okay.
Or around that time, and it was like Trump versus Hillary, and I went to like this town that was just both like it was like half and half, and I was just like, dude, I just do not give a shit about politics anymore. I'm so burnt out.
Oh no.
I was just like, I'm so burnt out that, like, now everyone is just so dramatic about politics. As before, it was like normal discussions and debates. It was like, Jesus, everything was one so extreme.
Right.
Like, there's just no civil discussion, and that's what I miss about like when I used to be in that topic. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can just gauge in debate. Like, that's fine. It's like,
sure, and I've always felt. I mean, especially since 2016, it became more about a show. It became, rather than actual policy. That's
exactly. That's literally, you said much better than me.
And again, that's what I care about. I tell people, like, we shouldn't be doing these by popularity contests, like
exactly.
And that's the problem. So it's easy to rile people up and get them all, hullabaloo and say this is the way it's going to be, and they're huffed up for a certain idea or a certain concept or how things should be. And and it's more, well, you have a D or you have an R.
Yeah,
and
they should just get rid of parties in general.
Yeah.
Like, you should just run as the person you are and the politics. And, like, it's like, yeah, I might not agree with you on everything, but, like, I'm there, like, 95%.
Absolutely. That's actually, you know, you correct me if I'm wrong, but George Washington said that in order to maintain our freedom, we had to not have any kings. We did that. Not have any political or no government alliances, right? Where you're like, if somebody else goes to war, we go to war as well. And then the third one is no political parties.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's
spot on.
Yeah, and I think that's what we have. Is that's exactly the problem, because now the parties just fight each other. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
They just well, I'm just going to fight anybody that's not on my party ticket, and it's just a consolidation of power that, like you said, we should vote on. I like this person. This person should be here for that. But
yeah, exactly.
We're nowhere near it. I was actually just having this conversation with a guy from New Zealand, and we were talking politics, and he said he's like, yeah, mate. It's like it's the same way. Our politics and American politics are the same. It's a show. It's a joke. He says, but America is on the world stage, and New Zealand is in a garage.
Yeah, that's very true, right? Yeah, exactly. Like when I was in Dublin, this was in 2021, October 2021. Like they were just like, aren't you glad you got Trump out? I was like, oh, dude, absolutely.
Right.
But it was just crazy. Like everybody I went to, that's what they brought up first.
Yeah.
And and I was like, yeah, dude. And they're like, how could you vote him in? I was like, dude, like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah, it's Boris in England. Like, there's all these people too. Like, it's just what happens. They know how to manipulate people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. It's the showman, and that's really it. Like, that's unfortunately the problem. Like,
And that's the worst thing is like we're gonna have Biden and Trump again, like probably again.
Probably.
It's like out of all the options we could have in this country.
What blows my mind is like for all of these indictments, right, to be happening, criminal indictments for him, like on record, like on phone calls, recorded, being like, I shouldn't have these, but I do.
Yeah.
These are classified. It's I have them, whatever. And it's like, this is a national security risk. This dude should not be anywhere near political office. Should not be near government.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not going to.
No, it just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, he's not going to be found guilty in time. And that's the only thing that's going to stop it, and it's just not going to happen in time, because that's his lawyers are just delay, because that's how the legal process works. So that's crazy. Yeah.
Dude, and if you talk to the people like that are diehard like Trump supporters, like they actually believe like elections stolen. It's like, dude, it's like 8 million votes off. It wasn't even fucking close.
Yeah. No, it's like it's not possible to have stolen. Like they have no comprehension of how 8 million. Like that's a big like that's a massive number. That's the entire city of Illinois plus two or Chicago.
Yeah.
Like it's so much, so many people. But they can't fathom it. It's just. And then Juliani just said it's like, yeah, it was a lie. Like he just came out and was like, yeah, it was wrong. I was lying. I lied. I misrepresented, and it's what's always been known, but. Now it's coming out, but they don't care. They'll still say it's rigged, even though it's like, here's Giuliani saying he did lie.
I didn't even know that.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that. I didn't even know he said anything.
Yep. Well, he said, he tried to say for the purposes of, and it's in the thing, for the purposes of this court case, I'll say I manipulated to settle. I'll say that I was lying. I'll say that for the purposes of this court case only, and it can't be extrapolated for anything else, but for the purpose of this and this only, I'm gonna say, and that's like. How it got settled or is getting settled. That's absurd. That you can even do that. Like, well, we'll say I killed them. I'll say that I did here, but not in the criminal case. I didn't do it, but I'll say it here to have you stop asking.
Yeah, absolutely ludicrous. It's like I said, it's on national level. It's such an embarrassment.
Exactly. It really is. It really is an embarrassment. It's unfortunate. Because, and that's what you talk about Florida. Like, I was having a conversation with somebody. It was like the United States is the world's Florida. Like, the way we look at Florida in some ways, that's how the world looks at America. It's like, that's just wild. It's just nuts. Like, this is just a crazy place. But it's not. It's a misrepresentation, right?
Yeah. I live in Miami. So it's like, I want to say like 60% of the people there are foreign born. Yeah. So it's a totally different. Florida's the only place in America where the more north you go, the more southern it gets.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, that's so funny. That's probably true too. Yeah, that's hilarious.
I promise you, it's
yeah,
very true.
That's great. I'll have to check it out. See, and I want to go over. I want to see that because my firm belief, and I've talked to people doing this that are from all over the world, and if you were to ask them, you know, like I pick them up at O'Hare, and they're like, should I have a bulletproof vest on? Like, am I going to be okay?
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, that's not America. That's not how it is. And it's just the same for Miami, for Florida, for, you know, Chicago. People think you got to have a bulletproof vest if you're going to be driving around Chicago for the same thing, but it's like, that's not actually how it is. It's just the media.
Yeah, exactly. I almost kind of like it, them misrepresenting Chicago, because it keeps everything, the prices down a little bit.
That's true. It is helping. You know, I moved here from California, so I know all about the crazy high prices that can happen. So yes, you're absolutely right. It does keep it down low.
But like everyone has this false perception of Chicago, like, oh, you live in Chicago, like here it's real bad. It's like, dude, I live in such nice neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we're right there. We're Edgewater. It's so chill.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even think you're in the city half the time. It's just so mellow. It's just like, yeah, me and my kid, we like walk around and it's like no big deal. Like, it's just, I know everybody on the block. It's great. It's, yes.
I always say this is just a small little joke. Guys, I'm Hispanic. Audio Sanchez is my last name.
Oh, nice.
People always ask me, they're like, dude, is it dangerous there? I'm like, dude, I'm literally like the person bringing down property values in my neighborhood.
Oh, that's so funny.
Just because, like, I'm just like, no, I feel like obviously we live in a very diverse, Edgewater super diverse.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm Mexican too, 100%. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, but that's the thing I was talking when right before Rewired Cafe had their fire. Like, I would go there with my daughter all the time. We'd walk to the beach and then we'd go there, and I just loved in the springtime. You could see a couple from every color, every creed. And it was like gay, straight, whatever, couples just walk down the street. And I'm like, this is the whole world just walking up and down like it's a Saturday, like it's nothing. And that's what I love about Edgewater.
Yeah, you have like a Jewish synagogue right there. You have a lot of Muslim people. You have Ethiopians in the area. It's just a beautiful area. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I love, right? There's Ethiopian restaurants, little stores.
Like you go down to Vaughn too. Like, man,
so
Vaughn
great.
Kills it. Like, and I love the food, the Pakistani food there.
Absolutely.
Sabri Nahari is one of my favorite restaurants.
Yes, they're so good. Absolutely. Yeah, I was talking to a guy who just gave me like 8 recommendations because he's a restaurant manager. And that was one of his top ones where he was like, you got to go here. It's super good. And yeah, that's
and you're Mexican, so you like spicy food, I'm assuming, right?
I love spicy food.
So you'll like it.
Exactly. There's, you know, what is it, that ramen spot that just opened up right there on Granville?
Yeah.
I go there and I got there like level 2 spicy, and then I was like, let's up it to level 3. And the guy was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm Mexican. Like, there's no such thing as too spicy. And then I went to the level 4 and I was like, yeah, this is like, they're like, this is crazy. You're crazy. I was like, it's fine. It's no big deal. But also that area used to be pretty wild. Like, there's a guy who lived there who told me, he's like, before then, if you were light skinned, you wouldn't walk up and down the street.
Dude, that's, because I used to visit my first girlfriend, like, from high school. She went there. This is like 2008. It was like a rough area.
Yeah, and way like, back then. Yeah.
Dude, and now it's nice. Like, I feel nice. I walk to Berger Park. How do you say Berger or Burger?
Yeah, I call it Burger. So
okay. You're a suit type person you are.
Yeah.
Hey man, nice meeting you.
Likewise. Yeah, this was great neighbors.
Cool. Yeah.
See you around, man.
See you around.
Have a good one.